Good day and welcome to All Talk United on the United Hour. Myself, President Chad, the man Tonio, Devin out there down up there in Miami from where I am. We all here with our drinks in hand. You know what I mean? Welcome to the virtual bar. That is All Talk United. How you gentlemen doing this glorious? Well, it's not glorious. Next week Sunday is glorious Sunday, so I can't say that. How you all doing this Palm Sunday?
Recovering.
Covering from what? I hope not that loss enough.
So yesterday, I drove down to Miami from Tampa at 2:30 in the morning to be with the group down there to go for that 7:30 kickoff to go and see that. And then afterwards, while I was down there, I went actually to my first ever MLS match. So actually, I went to go and see Inter Miami to check out Bex's side. So we did all that, and then we drove back that same day. So it's a 4-hour drive each way.
I went to Miami. Look.
So that was actually their first win of the season, and from what I heard that they were playing real bad before, and to me, they actually played very well yesterday. But I also
I didn't know you was coming.
Yeah, exactly. So I show up, and they decide to play well. So you know how that goes.
What's I tell Beckham to pay to make sure you're there every week?
Correct. They need to send a card for me every week.
I haven't had anything special for lunch, so let me hear who had some nice lunch.
You have the customary, the macaroni pie, the potato salad, the traditional Sunday lunch,
Right, all right.
You're forgetting one thing. You're forgetting the flying fish in there.
Come on, man.
You only go ahead and show off. Don't worry, I will get engaged and I will get married soon enough. I'll get some nice food.
I don't cut no style on your brother.
No. I could cook, I could cook, but you see the thing is, when you live in the bachelor life, you just kind of like cook whenever now. You don't have no kind of, Sunday food need to be finished by a certain time. You don't have nothing like that now. So, I just say.
I mean, take a sip. But my son has just been a little, just chill. I tell you guys, I don't have United to take on, I don't have United to take on. I watched that great game of football this morning. It made me, it captivated me and it made me sad at the same time because it's like, why do I have to watch my rivals to see quality football? But I'll stop there for the meantime.
No, well, I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, I was going to ask you what you thought about a Manchester United City game because I was very impressed.
Of course.
That game was exciting end to end.
That was one of the most entertaining matches I've watched in a real long time, and especially as a neutral, I have to say I thought it was a very entertaining match. It was back and forth. One team scores, next team scores. It had lots of goals. It had entertainment. I thought a little bit of the officiating was a little dodgy, but from an entertaining perspective, I thought it was a very good match. Now and they got to play each other again next weekend too. So we can see what happens now too.
Yep.
Good afternoon to Martin Phillip, first one on the inside in the virtual bar today. I mean, Tonio, you made a statement before the show that how do you think? You wonder how United players feel watching that kind of quality of football. How do you think United players feel watching that game today? Because we could be sure that players would have been watching that game today.
This is where we have to separate the two. People tend to mix up their emotions with what they think the players' emotions will be. I know how I feel, but how I think they feel, I don't think they're bothered. They have to be, for the majority of them, they're unbothered. Because, I mean, their salaries, their paychecks coming in every week,
Correct.
Out. So they're unbothered. They are unbothered.
So you're saying it's only Cristiano Ronaldo that bothered then?
No,
Maybe and maybe David De Gea.
Yeah, the majority of them, but we know the ones who really care. You understand? We know the ones that really care, but for the majority of them, I think they were unbothered yesterday. They were unbothered today. Of watching that, they were completely unbothered today. Only ones who leaving on contract, only ones who you understand? Unbothered. They were unbothered.
I know we just chilling out in the virtual bar, but I wanna it had two trends I thought after our game yesterday. Don't really want to dwell on our game too much because it's a happy vibes. But there are two trends I thought to our game. There are some people that the viewpoint is that Ralph is the problem, right? Ralph is the issue. A lot of people on Twitter was all, it's time for us to get rid of Ralph and the worst record. You see these things floating around. Ralph had the worst record as a United manager since Alex leave and all kind of drama. So that was one viewpoint. And then there was another viewpoint, which is this. I want you all to tell me your opinion on this viewpoint.
United.
Oh. And who's your favourite player?
None of them. They're all rubbish.
So, youth man was asked, who's your favorite team? He said Manchester United. And then the lady asked him, who's your favorite player? He said, none of them, they're all rubbish. Now, I don't know when this video was taken. It may have been pre-Cristiano. It may have been.
But I mean, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
No, it is hilarious because when I saw it, I was like, I had to play this I had to show this in the virtual bar because I feel the same way. I feel just like how he feels. So, I tried it out there. Where do you all sit? Do you all sit that Ralph is the issue? Or do you all sit like that young man and like me that, the players are just
So I feel that it's the players, to be very honest. Teddy Sheringham, he hinted at this when Ralph first came on. And it seems like he's right where he said that he doesn't think that the players are really going to listen to Ralph right now because they know he's only there in a temporary role. So it's kind of like whatever, just write off these 6 months or whatever, collect my paycheck and don't get hurt, whatever, whether I decide to stay or leave. And when the real manager comes in, then I will start trying harder. But you know what? My paycheck's still coming in. And even what was it? Roy Keane said something about like a leopard doesn't change its spots. So they're doing the same thing right now, where it seems like they will just throw whoever it is under the bus right now. That player power it needs to go. It needs to go. Like players need to get cleared out, and so for me there's a lot of players that need to go, and especially if you're not gonna be willing to put in all the effort every single match, run through walls every match. Sorry, you need to go. And I can't believe we have to say that about players that are playing at the professional level. That should be second nature. But it just seems complacency is there. That I just because I say I play for Manchester United to get paid, that means I don't have to try as hard. So it's a complacency thing that I think is the biggest issue, and that's on the players more so than Ralph.
For me, anybody who tells even begins a statement saying that Ralph is the problem, I'm not even entertaining you. I'm not entertaining you as a Manchester United fan. I'd rather not go back and forth because people can't seriously think that Ralph is the problem. You know what we are now realizing? We're realizing how much PR that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer actually did for this club. How much PR for this club. He did a lot of PR for this club. And why I say that, what do we know Germans for being? Very what? Straightforward.
Yep.
So he's basically coming and saying, you're not going to hang me out to dry here, brother. I'm telling you exactly as it is. You may not like to hear it, but this is what it is. And if we need to change this, this is what needs to happen. If there's no BSing, there's no, the board is, there's none of that. Well, Ralph is basically saying, you want change, this is what needs to happen. When you check Ralph's record, it has not been that abysmal, If you really think about, but the thing about it is, the players aren't there. But the majority part of what the young man said in the video there, it's majority, it's majorly true. It's majorly true. You cannot. Ralph said something, and I was like, "You are on point." He said, "If the players don't have the urgency of the want to play Champions League football, what he basically saying, what the hell you want me to do? You're seeing these fellas not giving anything on the field. What do you want me to do?" You understand what I'm saying?
And here's another. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tonio. But one thing when I like this, it makes me mad when people come in. They try to blame Ralph for this issue. I know you say you want to entertain it, but let me ask him this question: how many players did Ralph actually bring in since his tenure? And none. So you expect him to be there with a team with players from previous managers all come together, and you want to implement the system, and you didn't have a say on who's in there right now, and you're going to blame him for that? No, I am not having that argument. Not at all.
Can't. You just cannot. And we creating the scapegoat mentality where I don't understand how people can't place the blame on these players. We've seen week after week, these fellas, for the most part, giving everything to want to play Champions League football. Any fan who has eyes and loves this team can see that these fellas are not giving everything on the pitch. You can see it. So how then can you in turn look to blame Ralph? It just makes absolutely no sense. The players have been called out for their lacklusterness. You know, their ability to want to play, to challenge. Stats are there to prove it. You understand? And what have they improved that? Have they themselves improved that? They have not. So what does that tell you? What does it tell you? It cannot be the manager. It has to be the players.
So you're saying we're supposed to run a promotion, a promotion like this?
Manchester United Black Friday sale is now on. This fantastic fridge freezer was £80 million, now just $69.99. This Brazilian dishwasher was £50 million, now just 50 pence. And what about this Serbian wardrobe? Was £40 million, now we'll pay you to take it. The Manchester United Black Friday sale. You'd have to be Anthony Martial to miss it.
You didn't do that at the end there. You did not do that at the end there. You did not do that.
But
I didn't make it to know. I didn't make it, but I just...
The only one of that group who I could give a defense for lately is Fred, because Fred's starting to play a little bit better. But besides that, I agree with all the other ones on there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Of course, but the thing is, regardless of what, there is going to be a Black Friday sale. Players are going. There's no ifs or buts. There's going to be a lot of clear out. So we are going to see what the plan is for this club, because at the end of the day, I see a lot of these getting renewed contracts. The ones who are made it, I really can't see it. The Matic. I know some people say they would like to keep Matic for another year, but it's like we need to just start
keep Matic for next year to do what?
And that's it. For another year for what? The fact that
Matic can't even give us 60 minutes every other game anymore. After 25 minutes yesterday, Matic was looking rose.
Agreed, but you know the sad part about that state, just make sure is that even though he can only give us 60 minutes, but he is still the best in what he does in that position for us. You understand?
He's the only CDM we have. He must be the best when he had nobody else. Tell you something. Jesus is the best striker in Man City. You could argue that point? No, because there are no other strikers in Man City. So the fact that he scored today, yes, but he didn't have a good game, but he's still the best. He's the best striker in Man City.
Right. No, but what I mean is basically somebody who can come in and manage the game. That's the best player that we actually have to do that. And I mean,
true.
That tells you everything. That tells you everything.
Devin, read this comment from Ken here. Kendall.
Watch some average players on other teams playing out of their skin with a good strategy and coach. Everyone proving except Man United players. I'll never say Man U. So all the players bad, none good, and have any good attitude. Stoops. Ralph out, Ten Hag in. It's the same argument that we just spoke about maybe 5 minutes ago on here.
He has a slightly different take. He's saying that is a lack of tactics.
Well, so but it's what we said from before, where I think that's on the players because you're gonna throw Ralph under the bus when he had a transfer window and all they did was clear out a couple players, send a couple players on, well, just send a bunch of players on loan, did not bring anybody in who could fit his style. And then you're still gonna come around and try and blame him for that. No, Ralph could sit there and say he has his tactics, he wants to play it. And if the players just flat out refuse to play it because, well, either they flat out refuse to play it or they're not good enough to play it, is that on Ralph coming in as an interim manager and expecting him to change things up like that? No, I am not having that. I feel that the players are trying to make Ralph the scapegoat when it should be them. Because we see him do that with other managers.
After that, Devin, do you all remember a point in time when the team was actually flying? We were playing a kind of exciting running at teams, creating chances. Where did that go?
Yeah, and the team and the other thing that bothers me so much about that is the team showed that they could do it under Ralph in that Crystal Palace match.
Thank you.
I want to, sometimes when you're drinking a few, you just get some philosophical moments. I want to share a philosophical moment right now. When I look back at Ralph's tenure, Ralph was here for 3 days. And that team went and run out in the first half against Crystal Palace that you was talking about, Devin, and show Gengen pressing. How would they know how to do that? 3 days. 3 days.
Yes.
That team ran out there because they would have seen footage. They would have done research like all of us. Who's this Ralph Rangnick coming? What kind of football he does play? Or he does play for 2 days, what he does do. So when he come, remember Ralph's press conference after that Crystal Palace game? Ralph said, I was surprised to see what these players were able to go out there and do after such a short time. So according, I'm sure Kendall would remember that Crystal Palace game and he would be able to say, well, yeah, boy, we really had tactics in that game. And then when he tried to do it multiple times, the team started to fall short. So then he changed the formation. He went 4-3-3. We played good for about 2 games. And then after that, the team started to fall short. He changed it. He go on 4-2-3-1 to try to get a tune out of this team. Right now, if it is Manchester United, it looks like they have no tactics. It's because Ralph just trying to win games. Ralph decide here what? You see Gengen pressing? Cheer that up, throw that away. Just throw up. Right now, he just watching teams video and deciding watching Manchester United and say, how I think we could beat this team. Why? Because of the players.
You know why?
Because of the players. I don't think his philosophy in football has changed, but he knows he's temporary and all he's trying to do is just win games because them fellas not listening. They're not listening, Kendall. I mean, I also think I can't support you here today with that one. They're not listening.
I also think at this point he's already starting to do his job as a consultancy role right now. It's just to go in, analyze the players, try out different formations, figure out who can play what, or figure out just who flat out is not good enough to play for them anymore, which should have been done from before. And it's time that these players stop getting protected by previous managers, which is probably my biggest fault that I have in the way. And it's time for players to get a reality check right now. Like if you're gonna play here, you better be ready to run through walls, especially if you want to play at the highest levels and whatnot too. It's not just come in and get your paycheck and care more about your image off the pitch. Because if that's the case, you need to go.
Yeah, because he realizes that majority of the players, they have the capabilities to play the way that he wants them to play. We have seen it, but he realizes that for the most part, they don't have the mentality to play the way that he needs them to play. They'll give you something, but never for long, never for too long. So that's why he said we need to rebuild. It's not just about bringing in quality players, but scouting players who have the right mindset, who wants to come and who wants to work hard. Because I watched Brentford play this morning and they absolutely demolished West Ham.
Correct.
And I'm like, how could Brentford be playing better football than Manchester United? But you know what's the problem? There are no relationships within the team. Players don't build. There's no bonding between anybody. Tottenham has Son on this one. There are no relationships on the pitch. When you think about it, nobody knows anybody to the point where as soon as he gets the ball, he knows he can turn and he expects that player to be there. There's no relationship like that on the pitch. It's always wait and then see. And that approach will always have us a step behind, in a sense.
Well, I mean, all I could say to Kendall is this. We going to be Ten Hag is supposed to be on the way in. We have to have respect for the fact that Ajax are in a title race. Yes, they're 3 points clear right now, but they're still in a title race. It's not done and dusted. So we may not get the final announcement until closer to the end of the season. And we just had to ride it out until then. You know, we could agree to disagree that he's the problem, because the inconsistency that this team is showing right now, they started to show under Ole. And the only reason we weren't ripping the players to shreds back then was because Ole used to cover for the players and take all the pain on himself. You know, but there were a lot of cracks. There were a lot of crevices that Ole was papering over. And now that Ole is gone, everything exposed. Everything exposed now.
So yeah, I want to show his comment, that one right there. All right. So I could actually agree with what he's speaking about Tottenham that way too. That Conte's coming has them looking good right now. I think all of us will agree, especially Son and Kane have stepped up and looking incredible right now. We all agree with that part. However, the big difference there is that the Spurs players also know he is going to be there. Well, I don't know, because Conte has a tendency to implode later seasons down, but he's a permanent manager for now. And so they know, like, all right, they got to step up now and be ready. They already know what style they're going to play, and they know how they're supposed to play for seasons for as long as Conte's there. United players know that Ralph was only there for a 6-month thing, right? Right now. So it's like I said before, they can just take that 6-month hiatus, just do whatever, just breeze by, collect their paychecks, and then relax. I don't know, try not to get hurt, and then speak to their agents whether they want to stay at United or go somewhere else. But they're not going to give their all, because they also know that he's only there on a temporary basis. So that would be my biggest difference between Conte's situation and Ralph's situation right now.
Yeah, because even Conte was still bringing players and players that he know will come and play the way that he wants them to play, and they've been doing well. Bentancur and I can't pronounce the guy's name, is
Kulusevski.
Yeah, they've been doing it fair. The team has been lifted. You can visually see it. But I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
We had this comment earlier, but I didn't put it up. Martin Phillip wants to know if we know the players that were fined and if we know how much they were fined. Anybody has that info? Because I do. All I know is 4 players.
Well, we could take a guess.
Well,
I can tell you.
Harry Maguire, Marcus Rashford. Let me see who else I would think. Let me see those 2 for sure. Let me see if I can think of any other ones now. Midfield wise,
Nales, boy. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. Could you say something about Cavani, or you just think that he's just doesn't care at all? He just wants to.
Well, they say specifically it was non-performance fines, so you would assume
Harry Maguire's at the
non-performance
top.
fines would suggest that you played. And he didn't play well. Now, don't get me wrong, Cavani definitely needs to get fined too, because right now Cavani taking Manchester United for fools right now. So we could do it some of that money back. Kevin is saying Ralph outlined the problem at United regarding the players. Some players have the technical ability, but not the aggression, and vice versa. It's not about having the right mentality. Ralph has defended this. It's about literally DNA. Some players can do what's asked of them, even if they're tired. And he follows up by saying, what are the players being fined for? Not turning in, not tuning in.
Now tuning in. Yeah.
You know what I want to say about that, guys? I have a theory. And my theory, the man who walking late supposed to walk with a bottle, you know. You walk with a bottle, eh?
Well, bottle that she was this around and come down, man.
You keep that.
Yeah, my thought on this is this. You all would remember when we heard that the club wanted to start finding players that Ralph did not agree with that, right? That he came out at our meeting supposedly upset because he didn't want the club to do that. You remember that? My belief is the club has decided, you see, this group of players here, this is the last season we're going through this. So here what? Let me just upset the whole apple cart. We know it will get the players vexed. We know they will get upset. We finding them anyway. Who want to get vexed? Let us see you vexed. Don't come here and train and smile with everybody and pretend. Get vexed. Join Pogba and Lingard and pull your hand up and say all you want to leave, and we'll facilitate a move and whatever is the case may be. This era of player power is over, and I think that is the reason that the club is doing this finding thing. I don't even think necessarily that, as far as I'm concerned, the whole club should have been fined except for David De Gea for that game, because nobody really excelled in that game. But you only find 4 players. I wish I knew who they were, because that would tell me who the club trying to push closer to the exits. That's just my thoughts.
I have a sneaky suspicion I know who it is, but I just
Go ahead, take a guess. Call the names.
Let me tell you, I mean, as much as people will say he's gonna still be here, I think Harry Maguire is one of them that probably getting fined, because dude,
Agreed.
You have been underperforming for months now. So it's like you could get a slap on the wrist. You could get a slap on the wrist. Another player I think that they're probably doing that for as well. Let's face it, this is probably sounding too obvious. I feel as Paul Pogba's our next one they're probably finding as well too. Because you look at the way things are going with him. You are too talented of a player to be putting in those kind of performances and be getting excused for them.
I wish Chad had a copy, the meme boy. You know the meme where they just do so? Yeah.
There's a slight possibility. There's a slight possibility that Cristiano could be one, but another player that comes to mind is Marcus Rashford.
Correct. Those I said before, Maguire and Rashford, I have a feeling are 2 of them, and then the other 2 I think are debatable.
Yeah,
and I also had a sneaky suspicion that somehow in there Cavani could be somehow put in there too.
I was going to say him as my last person that I think would be number 4.
I have a sneaky suspicion, because how the man is always hurt all of a sudden for United games, but somehow he finds
Uruguay
for country.
Man, come and lime in the dressing room with Paul Pogba.
The thing that
it
confuses me so much, because like last season he was the man.
Yeah, he was.
And then all of a sudden this season it's just like, oh, Ronaldo came in now, so I just
I can run back and collect my paycheck normal. That you trying to say?
It just absolutely baffles me, because it's a completely different mentality, completely different player than last season. I don't get it, because I was ready to get his name on the back of my shirt this season coming up.
My boy Zachary has a Cavani jersey. I got that.
The only thing I want to say about Cavani is he take the curse off for the number 7, and we will be forever grateful. But that is about it. As far as I'm concerned, he, Paul Pogba, Lingard, all of them check out as United players right now. That is why I see it with my eyes. And unless
they practically just wait until the season finish at this point.
Yeah.
That's it. Them don't have the plans where they go in, they know the offers. You understand? They know. They know.
But anyway, so what did I miss otherwise? Again, my apologies for being late. I had some pressing matters to attend to.
So before that, we were just having a little discussion now where there's some people who think that Ralph is to blame for it, and pretty much all of us here were in consensus that it's the players.
Chad, you remember the screenshot I showed you yesterday when we did the breakdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, that just goes to show how crazy it's become. And the fan base in itself is falling into this whole idea. People need to remember, Ralph is there on a temporary basis. There's a reason why the term interim manager is there.
You are repeating exactly what we said. You were saying exactly what we said.
And the fact that, let me see if I can pull back up that screenshot for you guys, because what I saw, there was a Twitter space having this.
You also miss the sale, the announcement. So you had to watch the announcement.
Manchester United Black Friday sale is now on. This fantastic fridge freezer was £80 million, now just $69.99. This Brazilian dishwasher was £50 million, now just 50 pence. And what about this Serbian wardrobe? Was £40 million, now we'll pay you to take it. The Manchester United Black Friday sale. You'd have to be Anthony Martial to miss it.
Who did that? Who did? No, man.
My favorite part is the last part.
So
I'm gonna stick with me forever.
I have a question
Yo,
about.
Send me that. Send me that, please, because I have a Bridget. I might would love that. Send me that.
Since we're just talking now, which miss was worse? Which miss was worse? That one or Torres's against us?
Nah,
Nah,
Torres
Torres-
still. Torres was miles worse because you had time round David De Gea and still put White Dog. No, nah.
Good.
Nah,
So,
nah,
yeah,
nah,
so
nah.
we
Nah,
all
Anthony
right,
Martial has a
I make a
collage
sense
of
with that.
misses from last season, and it's a matter of which one is worse than which. He missed some real sitters last
Yeah,
season.
but at least he not at like Morata and Timo Werner levels with misses because, jeez.
Now, well, Timo Werner is a specialist. He he's a specialist misser.
No, Morata still beat him back because anybody who could in a FA Cup game could be on the goal line and still chip a ball over the bar. Nah. You in a bad way. You need
Again, that's a
Brusso.
special talent. That is a
Yeah,
special
that
talent.
no, that requires a special talent to that.
Some millionaires, he wouldn't get that again. He will never
Mike-
get that again. He will never get a tap again. That's ridiculous. That was
My
ridiculous.
You wanna-
My
you
4-year-old
wanna know-
niece, my 4-year-old
you
niece
wanna
doesn't
know-
have enough coordination to kick a ball properly, and she wouldn't miss this.
You want to know when a man is a real specialist miss artist? When 9 out of 10 times the goal would score, but he somehow was able
Managed
to.
the trick.
He
Yeah,
couldn't
managed the
do
trick,
it twice. If he tried to miss that again, he wouldn't miss it. You kick it in. You
Right.
understand? That's when you
Right.
know men real big.
Well, yeah, I just hear laughing about the Martial miss because it's something that I said earlier in a group because it talked about Martial with his off the field stuff right now, where it was saying that his wife is dumping him because he got some other girl pregnant. And I said I was
Yes,
I said I was the man could even finish. So
Wait.
yeah, it is what it is.
Wait.
Yeah.
We're
Oh yeah,
talking-
look, I found the screenshot. Look, I found the screenshot.
You talk. No,
Watch.
you speaking
Look at this.
currently.
Yes, currently Anthony Martial's wife is supposedly separated from him because he got somebody pregnant.
This man is Britney Spears with
No,
his
sorry.
man. Is oops.
He didn't
What
get
is-
somebody pregnant. When she was pregnant, he was being unfaithful.
Wow.
Draining Eli forcing on no one. He can't get nothing on the pitch. He just.
It's one thing to find yourself in that situation once, but twice, boy.
DJ Khaled running out and just said another one. Come on,
Yep.
man. No man.
My phone only
Yes.
going off every time I say that. That's look, brother, man,
No, guess
yo.
Mark is asking if we saw Maguire calling for handball on Matic. Yes, we did see it. In the
We've seen
game
far
yesterday.
worse. We've seen far worse. We saw Elanga tripping up Rashford and Rashford begging for penalties. So
I thought it was Bruno begging for a penalty on that one or something like that. But
bro, we've seen some very comical things at our time here.
That's exactly
Yeah.
our club at the moment. See those kind of things happening is yeah.
We
Yeah,
are the
we're
football
shooting
equivalent
up.
to Comedy Central right now, and that's poor.
Brother.
But you know what probably baffles me the most out of all this? You go back to earlier in the season, and it seemed that Barcelona and us were in the same exact position.
Situation.
Things were not going well at all, and it took them less than a season to get sorted out, and look at where we are now. So
You made a very important distinction about those who want to blame Ralph, knowing fully well that Ralph hasn't even gotten a player. He hasn't been able to do much to change. When you look at what Barcelona has done, Barcelona
They back Xavi.
almost a whole team.
They literally back Xavi.
You beat me to what I was alluding to. And so I said the difference. This is what shows when you have people who actually care about the football results and the club versus people who just care about lining their pockets and getting paid.
This is it.
That's what I was trying to get to by the end of that too. But it's absolutely, so it shows that it's possible to do the fix. Now we need the people from the top to go ahead and start realizing that and implementing it before the situation gets too dire. Because I think it got dire right after Jose, but they still haven't done anything about that. And how long ago was Jose? 4 years ago now?
About that, yeah. 2018, 2019. Yes, so it's 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, but two things are very important. One, if Harry is actually one of the players who are fined, that's a big statement by the club. One. Two, if the club actually keeps Ralph on as a consultant, it also says a lot. Because if he leaves at the end of this, I'm really going to have a problem, and it's going to tell you a lot where the club's mindset is.
Correct.
Tell you a lot. So I'm waiting for those two big decisions, because we know that it's going to come out eventually.
And I also think it shows the right example where if the captain, you're going to fine the captain for non-performance. If they do it right, it shows that you are not above anybody else, and it shows like all the rest of the side. But I also don't think that Maguire is a leader to begin with. So the other part of me is that the players will just be like, whatever, fine. It should have happened a long time ago anyway. He's not my leader anyway. He's only leader because somebody gave him an armband, but he's not a true leader.
I wanna ask you all this. I will go first in answering the question. But what is it Ten Hag could do on day one of being the official manager, being unveiled, coming to Old Trafford, walking in the dressing room? What could he do on day one that is going to make you say, well, yeah, boy, this man have my support for at least 3 years. No matter how the results go on the pitch, he have my support. For me,
so
he could walk in that dressing room and take off that captain armband from Harry Maguire. That's
not only that, but you remove his actual kit from the dressing room. So, but that's just me. And you bring in some youngster in as well. Put Axel in his spot when he comes back. Axel, this is your spot right now. Earn it from him. And you tell Harry you want your spot back. Prove it. Earn it back.
It's a matter of just recognizing and weeding out the star names and letting them know, hey, your spot is not safe. Don't let these guys know that I have younger blood waiting to take your position. So, I don't care if you're Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't care if you're Marcus Rashford. I don't care if you're Paul Pogba.
So for you, Greg, well, Paul ain't gonna be here.
Well,
so
this was it.
On his first press conference on day one, if you walk inside and he says, I don't care how long you've been here. I don't care what you have achieved in the game. Nobody's spot is guaranteed. If you walk in and says that on day one,
take the Janet Jackson approach.
You have your
take the Janet Jackson approach. What have you done for me lately?
How about you, Tino? What he could do for you to say, well, yeah, you know to yourself, this man's serious.
Basically, if I am walking into the dressing room, I'm going to explain to these fellas that something has to change. First and foremost, either you want to be here or you don't want to be here. The door is open for anybody, not selective players. Like you could go, but no, the door is open to everybody. I don't care the big name, I don't care how big the salary, how small. If you don't want to be a part of what it is I am trying to do here, you can leave. Because we are seeing that a mentality is a mentality issue with the club, and that I'm trying to change. So I'm here to fight. I'm here to go forward. It's either you're with me or you're not. And if you're not, the door is open. I'm going to get the players in that I need to do the job that I need to get done. As a manager, you have to be ruthless, and it can't be about hand over shoulder. That's why I don't want Poch. That was the main reason I did not want Poch. I want a manager who's going to come and stand firm. If Ralph stays, it's going to be a big assist to Ten Hag also, which is, as I say, I'm waiting to see, because all of these things are they don't have a part to play, but definitely he's going to have to go in there and assert his authority a bit, because there's going to be a clearer in a kind of way regardless. So change is coming. Is either you want to be a part of it or you don't. As simple as
Tonio, it all comes down to this when you look at the end of the day.
I have one other thing that I will add to all that as well.
Yeah, Dev.
I am banning all phones in the dressing room. And the other thing on top of that is if you have people that are in your circle connected to you in any shape or way, whether it's an agent, whether it's a close friend, somebody else like that, if they start leaking stuff that's coming out the dressing room like that, I don't care. I'm benching you. I am banishing you to the reserves. It's as simple as that. We don't. There is no room, no place at all for that, for undermining any of that. That needs to happen. And then, okay, you lay the line down.
David,
you also come in.
As you say that, you know, it's another thing. That's another thing that fine should be imposed for.
Correct.
If your agents are putting out leaks and basically talking about you looking to move to this club, that club, the next, yeah, no, you gotta get fined for that. Because for me, that stirs up unrest within the dressing room, and you want to have a unified group of people playing together for each other. If it looks like somebody looking to dive out, then nah.
And then you know what else that does too, because then the players will probably come back and say, well, I can't control what X and Y is saying off the pitch. I said, but yeah, you could control who's your agent though.
Yeah.
And that is why you let it put it clearly. These are the fine. These are what you could be fined for, right? If your agent do it, if your sister, your brother say something disparaging about the club, yes, that is not you. And you may not have been responsible for it, but you know from in advance, if that happen, you go in and get fined. So
3 words.
It is on you to make sure it don't happen.
3 words. Guilty by association.
I am sure all sorry, the dog's barking about.
I think the dog echoes our sentiments.
Show me who your friends are. I will show you who you are.
Big facts.
Yeah, that's it.
You gotta have to know what to draw. There has to be a line in the sand now. There has to be a line in the sand now to kind of recognize where everybody stands. Because you cannot be having people dancing around certain things and looking for gray areas to get away with stuff. It becomes a problem because now when you allow leeway for one thing, somebody else is going to want leeway for something else. And that stirs up bad habits amongst everybody within that group. If you can't keep a stern line with these individuals, then it's only chaos going on rain right through. And the inmates can't be running the asylum.
Correct is right. Correct is right.
Things like the players are liking this manager and not liking that one. Why do they even play? I'm like, what BS is going on at this club? What BS is going on at this club? Players have a say on who they want to come in. I refuse to believe that these things are true. I have to refuse to believe.
No, if it was me, and they saying, "Oh, I don't like Ten Hag. I want you." I was like, "I don't like the way all they perform on the pitch. That don't mean you're stopping all from getting all their money. Go from here."
100% correct.
Go from here. You can come down from there and take away again. Shucks, man. You don't get what you want, so sometimes you get what you deserve. Your parents never tell you that?
You don't like Ten Hag?
No self, you get Ten Hag.
Look the door, you know. Yep. Look the door. Because
you could go. Easy as that.
It's clear.
I will put you home. Go home.
That Ralph has identified player power as one of the issues at Manchester United. And if he has backing to deal with that, I'm glad. That is what we need.
And that's one thing you have to applaud Ralph for, because certain things have been, I mean, to Ollie's credit, he did it to basically protect players and to kind of make sure that there was no real stress around, that people won't feel like there's something going on underlying. But that was to his detriment in the grand scheme of things. Ralph, on the other hand, I ain't care if me and you, I watch you with training from since you was a little child in the academy from 6 years old. If you're doing nonsense,
bye.
Yeah. How do you do with you? Goodbye.
Oh, we mentioned earlier, Greg, that Ole was a great PR specialist. He was a great PR specialist. Ralph was coming and saying,
that is true.
Any of that paying me for that PR? No. We are seeing, as Chad said, we are seeing all the cracks on the wall. We are seeing it. Paint over how much you want. We finally see Ralph coming and said, nah, I had a plaster. I'm not painting over that. That is what Ralph is saying.
Mix mortar and cast over the whole thing. Nah, we ain't going through that. No, not this wrong.
Yeah, it's not papering over again. That wall had a plaster over properly.
That wall had a knock down. Not just plaster. No, that wall had a knock down and build over. Come now, man.
That's why I only remember Ralph had to hire a communication specialist from the Athletic.
My
Man, I had to hire a reporter, you know, just to be able to talk, to deal with the English press, because clearly his straightforwardness was a problem.
This is
United.
where this is where the approach Fergie used to take when it came to press leaks and stuff like that is detrimental. If you know you gain information and it's bad information that you put out of the club, that journalist was getting banned for the next press conference. We ain't dealing with that.
Ruthlessness. We need some more. We need to be ruthless. We're not ruthless at all.
I remember Mark Ogden talking about how after he pulled out a message, like, Ferguson pulled him aside. Hey, don't come back. You had to operate like that. You had to operate like that. Don't rough up nobody. Just put a hand over there. Like, yeah, you could go. Go ahead and log out for a minute.
I agree, because if you want access to this club, you can't be coming here asking me questions and then you already reporting a bunch of rubbish. Nah, bro, you need to relax until you get in line and understand what's going to access to this club.
And as a freelance journalist myself, I understand the importance of journalistic integrity. So you have a responsibility to put out what's actually being said. The sensationalism is something that can get you in a world of trouble. Yes, it will get you clicked. Yes, it will get people to pay attention to what you're saying, but at what cost?
Correct.
Your reputation going down in the mud after that, because people will drag you after they realize, but what he's saying ain't true.
Exactly.
You gotta recognize that. It comes at a cost, you know. Your 15 seconds of fame is one thing because, oh, you get this and it looking like a exclusive. But when the people who in the middle of the story realize what take place and they come for your head,
you know what you are saying is all correct. Nothing all is saying is wrong. But we forget Manchester United have become very much in bed with the media. When they want to spin a narrative, even a false narrative, they just call the people in the media and report it. You know, I try to remember the exact report. What I can't remember the scenario, but I remember about around the time when we were looking for Ralph, where you had these rumors coming out, and all the people who were reporting it were reporters that have good sources in United, and they were coming out. Everybody on the same. If everybody was coming out the same time, there's different words, but the same principal thing, and you get the impression that literally Manchester United had like a group call with all of the reporters and say, hey, fellas, yeah, this is the keys. Nobody in quoting no direct sources, but everybody say the same thing. And so what Fergie was able to do in the past, how could we do this now when the club is so in bed with the media, so to speak?
Forget that we are circling his wagons and keeping everything close knit. You know? He played a lot of stuff close to the chest. He was a master at that.
Yeah.
And you need more people like that in a way to kind of know how to temper these situations. Raul, let's face it, we all share the disappointment because it's gotten to that point where everything is completely rotten. It's almost like you're finding very little things to salvage at this present time.
Exactly. It's disappointing. And we're getting hit left, right, and center. It's not only on the field, but off the field. It's like, when somebody, it's like you're down, and somebody walk there and they just come and that last person come and they kick it after everybody. That's us, right? We're getting it. It's not just the field, you know. It's with me. It's the field football. It's like everything is just so. I don't even like to use the word toxic, but it's like toxic.
But that's the only word you could use, Tonio. That's the only word you could use. Because I mean, if it's not the board, it's the players. If it's not the players, is the management. If it's not the management, it's the fan base. It's literally a civil war on 4 different fronts.
Exactly.
Guys, I now get this on my phone here. From 365 Scores. That is a app that is released little tidbits of sports news. And it's actually from the Sun newspaper.
Oh God!
And the article is saying that Leipzig.
We were
take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt.
We were speaking about journalism before you bring up.
I am just saying what the newspaper reported. That's why I leave my source. Obviously, it's up to you to decide how seriously you want to take the news, depending on the source. But Leipzig is out to steal Ten Hag from Manchester United. The boss is tempted to join them. RB Leipzig are reportedly trying to hijack Manchester United move for Ten Hag. Do with that information what you will. I'm just sharing it. But that's what is the sun is
Why
out there.
does why that sound like Newcastle or one of them fellas? Because it's like he just pulled some crap like that.
No, but what I'm gonna tell you is,
No,
remember
but we need to remember that there were other sources. Fabrizio Romano, and even the one who broke the story, Mark Ogden, in his article, he said that there were other clubs that were interested in Ten Hag. It's not that it was never just, well, yeah, he was pretty much saying the deal is going to be done. But we know for a fact that there are other clubs interested in Ten Hag.
So all I basically think the Sun did was they probably found out that Leipzig is one of the clubs, and they just spin it into this big
narrative
thing. Yeah, of course they're interested, but I mean, don't make it steal Ten Hag promotes. I mean, come on, man. Come on. I mean, come on. But we know how they do. Do.
Everything is just basically a circus every day with Manchester United. No, you know. It's just who deciding to play ringmaster.
I have a question to ask the panel though, and I want you all to answer honest. Do you guys actually believe Paul Pogba should actually be in the squad at the moment? When I say in the squad, I don't mean on the bench, I mean completely out of the squad at the moment.
So I will go first on this one. It's in this situation right now, I would say I do think he deserves to be there right now, because you're going to get the best version of Paul Pogba now until the end of the season, for the sole reason, well, actually, there's two reasons right now. Number one, it's a World Cup year, so he wants to solidify his spot in the squad. And number two, he's also playing for a contract, whether he stays at Manchester United or, in my opinion, wherever he goes next, because I have a feeling he's gone. So he wants to show them why he can justify whatever contract money he's asking for. So in my opinion, he is going to step up and he is going to play lights out. However, my one doubt, which I'm still 50-50 about this, is he going to play for Paul Pogba or is he going to play for Manchester United? And that one I'm still 50-50 about.
If I was you, I was leaning more towards the former. He's gonna probably want to play for himself, because he's a kind of fella. Tony McKay.
No, I have my opinion on what Devin said, but you go ahead, Greg. I'll say it after.
I judge it from the way things are. Is like, if I know someone's not entirely committed to something, I am not the kind of person that's going to keep you around, because it's gonna have everybody else around you swirling with doubts. And for me, that is not a healthy environment to have you in. Having said that, given our situation, we don't know the extent of the injuries to Fred and Scott McTominay. So it's kind of like we're kind of forced to have him around in this regard to make up the numbers. But if I was, and I know a lot of people are probably going to sleep me for this, but this is my opinion. I don't care. If I know I had people performing at optimum levels, I would keep Paul Pogba on the bench, because I think he's become too much of a luxury item than more than really something beneficial for us right now. In the early stages when he was there, I thought, okay, we would get something great out of him. But since we've won the Europa League, since we won the League Cup, and going forward, I can't really. I'm struggling to put my mind together, bar like the City game and other probably little one-off matches where he's played, to see where I've seen like a consistently great version of Paul Pogba. So for me, it's like there comes a point where, as much as someone is talented, you have to recognize how is it beneficial to the club. And if the cons are outweighing the pros in this sense, then I don't really see the point.
What about you, Chad?
You're waiting on me, Tonio. You could go ahead and know.
No, I want to hear what Tony was going to say about what I said. So
yeah, I will talk after.
My opinion is Paul Pogba should actually be just training with the reserves, and I'll say why. It's because there's been a contract on the table for you for however long. clearly, with how many games to go in the season, how many games do you have left?
7, I think.
7 games left. You have not signed. So I already know to myself you're gone. You're mentally not here. You remember a long time when players used to be benched or be out of the team completely because coaches would say that their mind is not here because other clubs, coming in for them. Where has that gone? I want players in the dressing room who I know are committed to the cause. And time again, we've seen that we never question his talent, we never question his ability, but we always have to question his effort. So if I couldn't trust you then, and you've been consistently given chances to be trusted, and you have always kind of left us. I remember him letting Ole out a hang in that Liverpool. Come on, brother, and it's a red card. It's almost like I can't trust him in crucial
and there
moments.
are people that are I'm glad you bring that up because I know there are still people that will make excuses for that red card. Yes, we saw him goals down, but still, how does you getting sent off get the benefit us anymore? Or talk about how he can do anything better. So you mean to tell me you vilify, you allow any man some dignity because he gets sent off in a crucial game like that?
Crucial game like that. That's the word, crucial game like that. You can show commitment, but you still have to be smart. And he was not smart.
No, he wasn't.
What I think is, and it's not, if I know you're moving on next summer, you're going to be in the reserves, I'd rather bring up a player from the academy and put them into the team and let them play because at least I know what I'm going to be getting from them. You're going to be getting full 100. You understand? But the thing is, we always, what's the word, boy? We baby these players so much instead of being a club that does what
holding their hands.
Need.
Holding their hands.
I don't want. Why is Paul in the dressing room? If you're going, I don't need Paul there. I don't need Jesse there. These are players that are no longer here mentally. So you're not going to get everything out of them. Let them train in the reserves and go. No malice.
They're biding their time. They're biding their time and again a paycheck in the process.
So basically, you're saying that like what happened to Malouda needs to happen to Pogba.
Pretty much. You know what I'm taking up to show that there are academy players who can come in and actually fight for the club. You don't think fans want to see that? A young player coming into the team and giving full 100? You don't think that's something that raises the team or raises the
There have been so many calls over the last few weeks to see Hannibal Mejbri starting. Many.
Come on. Because if it was going to be like
look
this,
look one here. Look one here. You see this madness? You literally you man here justifying Paul Pogba getting a red card and looking to blame Bruno.
Well, we all already know who Barbados MUFC is. So
of course.
That's why I'm saying Barbados. So let me guess.
So I would say that there is a bit of a Bruno bias there. So
you think?
My take on it is this. If we were performing well, I would totally agree. In principle, I agree with everything Tonio said. In principle, I have said this in the past. I remember saying this a year ago when Paul Pogba, there was a contract down. We know there was a contract down and he failed to commit. And a year ago, I was saying, here what? You go down on the reserves, right? You shouldn't be the only one exercising power. We could show you, we could hurt your career to go down in the reserves. However, at this stage, Ralph's mindset is just to try to win games. And sometimes you have to use people the same way they want to use you. You've used Manchester United. It's our turn to use you. Now, you had to know what you're going to get from these people you use, which is why I believe he didn't start him. Right? Mentally Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba has left the building. But at the same time, you may have an occasion where you may be able to use them. And they also have a bit of interest in trying to show other clubs that, hey, we still have it. So it's a kind of, use. But ideally, I totally agree with in principle what it is you guys saying. But so right now,
I just want to ask one more question.
We still have a chance. Yeah, sure. We still have a chance to fight for something. So as long as we have that chance, he would be in the team. He wouldn't be starting,
So,
but he would be in the team.
so did you have that same mindset when Rooney was playing hardball with his contract, refusing to sign the contracts that were there before? When he was doing this back a few years ago, I want to say it was 2011 when he was doing it.
You talking about with Liverpool?
No, like Rooney when he was trying to get a big
Rooney, I
contract.
thought you said Raheem.
No, Rooney.
Rooney. Mhm.
If you remember when Rooney was trying to, I think he was trying to get 300,000 a week. He eventually got it, but you remember like it seemed like he wasn't playing that well, things like that. It seemed like his heart wasn't there, and then he got it. And he started playing.
We have to remember there are behind the scenes convos that Rooney was actually put up to that, was told to do that by Sir Alex, right? Because he found that the Glazers was being too stiff and they wasn't spending money, and he kind of wanted to kind of shake them up a little bit to walk in the board, I use the occasion, the crisis, to walk in the boardroom and say, watch this, what's going on with the team, only need to, So, but even if that is not true, I would agree totally in principle. And trust me, if Sir Alex Ferguson felt that Rooney was not going to run out there and give full 100, he was never starting him.
That's all.
We know Sir Alex good enough to know that. If he felt within himself, I cannot get anything, or this player mentally is not here, regardless the fact that you're the best player of the club, Sir Alex was benching him. I always tell people, all of those people who like to say, oh, I don't like how Sir Alex treat York, and because of that, Sir Alex was racist, or because of that, I don't support Manchester United. I just tell them straight up. Sir Alex was the most unbiased person. The man sell, in terms of conversion rate, the best striker in the team, because he was going out there running him out in the press. In terms of, and that is Ruud van Nistelrooy, in case people wasn't sure. Yeah. The man sent his son in Beckham. I just call Beckham Sir Alex son. Beckham at the club since 8 years
old. You look at the list of people that he has fallen out with, and I barely survived at that club.
We had to remember Beckham was also the poster boy for United and England. He might not be the best player on the team, but he was the most popular.
Facts.
When you look at those things, and let's be real, what did Ruud do? Ruud just come out publicly and say, "What, I don't know why the man had me on the bench," and just publicly agitate a little bit. And that was it.
Let's also not forget about Jaap Stam.
Wait, I just want to put it out there. Let's look at those infractions, right? To Dwight York. The man tell, hey, I want you to stay here. We have important games coming up. You leave without permission and go and play for Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, no worries. You're a national team player. You're a big star. Yeah. So Alex Ferguson used to do that, in my opinion, too much. Yeah. People just think it's not only Dwight York he do that for. There are players used to play in the English team and in the Scottish team that used to get little injuries and nothing was wrong with them. And not going. Gary Neville himself came out and said in an interview sometime back when nobody didn't make it a big issue at the time. That's Alex told him, hey, you see them games coming up for England, they figure that. Yeah, and Gary forget that. Gary say no, he ain't going. So people want to make it look like Sir Alex was on your case. So we had that incident. Did Sir Alex bench York? No, York still played. You had the incident when York was going on lineman with these boys and them and partying and Sir Alex won't pull all of them square and say, watch, you see this party life, this lineman thing, because he wasn't doing it alone. He was doing it with Beckham and the boys. And tell them, hey, chill out. You get quietness from them. Next thing you're seeing pictures with York and porn star and all kind of drama. Watch me, York do real thing in United before Sir Alex bust it shoot. And that man who do 10% of what York do and get it shoot bust one time. Sir Alex real went out and he wait for Dwight York. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, we all admire Dwight York. There's no, I'm not putting Dwight York down. I'm just saying that for those people who like to accuse Sir Alex of treating Dwight York unfairly, that is not true. And back to what we started talking about with Rooney. if Sir Alex for 1 second thought that Rooney was an issue with his track record, but he would have
Easy 10 bench.
he would have called the taxi to pick up Rooney to carry him by the Emirates, boy.
We can add on top of we can add on top of that too. If it's one of the things you can add to what was Wayne Rooney's characteristics as a Manchester United player, you can never ever question his commitment. You can never
Thank you.
ever his commitment to the team. And you always know players like that. Alex Ferguson knows the players that he can put on and trust. You may not be in the best of form, but he guarantees that if you're on the pitch, you're going to give 100 for the team.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons. If you want to push for more money, that is the business side of things. I really have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
This was about the football and family. You will pull men into the office and talk to them about their personal lives, because your personal lives affect your performance on the field. A lot of them. So you put those two and two together, and maybe what's going on with Anthony Martial at the moment is because,
his off the field antics.
Man just loves being called daddy, bro. I mean, clearly.
I feel homeboy wanna start our OnlyFans, you know.
I don't know.
Them eyes, boy. Them eyes is what that boy.
I don't know if you only remember this, but last window, before the window closed, Anthony Martial's girlfriend put out something suggesting that there was interest from Real Madrid and Anthony Martial, right? And that she was looking forward to move to Spain, right? That she said at that point in time. And not his girlfriend, his wife. So if it is, you end up getting your move to Spain to make her happy, as well as yourself, you want to change your scene wherever, you want to be the man wherever, and she leave you. And at the end of the season, Sevilla is probably going to tell Manchester United, thanks, but no thanks. We ain't buying that.
Yeah.
You can hold on to it. What is really going on with Anthony Martial? Really?
He's in a hot mess.
I think he's one of those players where he only performs if he believes that he is the main one leading the line. I just feel like he does not handle adversity well at all. And that's a mental strength thing. And if you can't handle that because you go through a bad patch because you're not the main man anymore, I am sorry, then that means that you're putting yourself above the side. Because there's going to be times with the matches where you're called upon, where you need to lead the line, times you need to come off the bench, let somebody else go in and rotate the side. You can't play every match. You can't be the main man all the time. And you have to realize that.
The next time we do this, the next time we come to the bar, we're going to talk about Manchester United supporters and the Player FC fans versus the real fans. But I don't want to bring that up now, because that we could take a whole hour talking about that.
Just an hour? Just an hour? Why?
Because
we need to do like a 5-part series for that one.
Yeah, I have real issues. I think Manchester United supporters, there are too much Player FC supporters here, boy. Men more interested in players and teams. So we'll deal with that next time.
Yeah, for real. It's gone to a point where you just have to recognize.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, so it got to a point where you just have to recognize it in the grand scheme of things. These players are gonna come and go. What are you gonna do after that?
Exactly.
I remember some people were saying that the only reason Manchester United bought Park was because he was Korean and they wanted to lock down the Asian market. That it was a marketing strategy, and it wasn't because he was a good footballer. We watch football.
Exactly.
We know that's a lie, because Park was, and Sir Alex said it on many occasions, was a critical part of the team. We have seen important games where Park stood up. Park was not just at two.
Let me just tell you. You want to know what was the match that made Manchester United buy Park Ji-sung?
World Cup 2002.
No, not even that one. Not even that one. It was the match PSV Eindhoven, and it was the semi-final match against AC Milan. They were this close to knock AC Milan out of that semi, this close. Park Ji-sung put on a clinic. And and it just took that one goal from, I think it was Massimo Ambrosini, to carry them over the line. Other than that, if they had kept that clean sheet, PSV would have made their first final in probably over what? I think it was 2005. That would have been 17 years. They'd have made their first Champions League final in over 17 years. Park Ji-sung was the main focal point behind that team driving forward. That was the game that made Manchester United by him.
And I think they got the best of both. I mean, commercially and on the pitch, they got the best of both.
Correct.
They got it. They got it.
And I was just saying that to say that, you know, once we get back to that space where football is the priority, and it looks like we're heading in that direction. I am like Tonio. I am waiting. It is not I don't need the transfer window to open to know if Manchester United is serious about football or not. I just want to see what position they give in Ralph, right? And when they bring in Ten Hag, how much influence he's going to have. And those two things alone will tell me, yes, we're focusing on football now, and and the commercial people will be dealing with commercial things, and football people will deal with football things. I just waiting to see, like Tonio, my thing right now. I waiting to see, because once that happens, I don't think it's gonna take us 27 more years to get back on top.
Nah, can't.
I don't think so. We just
football's going to change too much after that. Football's going to change too much within that period of time for that to happen. And we need to be able to keep up with everything that's going on.
That's it. That's it.
Man say we in good spirits. He don't know it had things that is cause it to be in good spirits.
Exactly. Right. I mean, it's certain spirits. How we in good spirits? Eh? and side note, just so we clear, Tony, before you finish, all that talk about people who say they call him a Google boss, that was from head knowledge. I call that game, man. Just so we clear. That Google boss talk dead. That was Raul.
Yeah. Greg don't play. He does remember. There are rare occasions he does get wrong, but it is usually rare.
And it's that.
Well, fellas, we're looking at shut down the old talk, for today. Manchester United's next game is Saturday at 10.
Yeah, Saturday.
Playing Norwich. And
is it the end of May yet?
So
okay, let's spell it properly.
I'm gonna give you all the opportunity for parting words before we shut down the old talk, you know. Start with you,
rum till I die.
Well said, bro. Well said. Antonio.
I just want to let the fan base. I just want to let the fan base know. Do not allow Manchester United to have you going out there seeking medical or clinical treatment. Please learn to the side. Love your club, you know. Love your club. But sometimes you have to know when to put something at arm's length. When you carry out your garbage, do you walk with it at your side? No, you hold that. I mean, come on. So love your club, but still, do the things you love to do. Don't let this club depress you at all. At all. There are so many other things they like to enjoy and love. So, you know how it goes. Enjoy it safely.
I've said enough, but all I can say is there's nothing else to play for this season. Emotionally detach yourself from Manchester United for the next few games, because there's no sense in working yourself up for any more disappointments, because after Norwich we have Liverpool, we have Arsenal. If you get vexed if something happens against Norwich, if we perform bad against the rest of them teams, and emotionally, emotionally detach yourself, because right now it's pointless.
Norwich win the game this weekend, and they beat a team that was
and we
didn't. To beat them.
And we didn't. So,
well, my pattern was go ahead, Tonio.
Every Manchester United fan who went to bed on Friday night would have had it in their subconscious that Manchester United was going to lose against Everton the following day. It was just in the back. We wanted a win, you know. But in the back there is almost like
What did we say Thursday night? What did we say Thursday night about that? That same thing. I was gonna be a Frank Lampard special.
Can you be so predictable? And I also knew that Brighton was going to put something or at least take something from Arsenal. And what did we not do yet again? We did not capitalize. That's what we do. That's what we do. So we have to get that out of our characters.
And I will leave it on a positive note. For those people who say top 4 is dead, top 4 would be dead if the people we were fighting top 4 with was Arsenal and Spurs. Because trust me when I tell you, Arsenal and Spurs are going to drop points. Do I think Manchester United is going to capitalize? No, I do not. No. But trust me when I tell you, Arsenal and Spurs are going to drop more points. And we heading out with this one.
Facts. Yeah. Remember every season I would come back.
Mr. Happy Papi, Mr. Happy Papi, Mr. Happy Papi. Yeah, they calling me Mr. Happy Papi. Hey, if you appreciate what we're doing here at the United Hour, please like, please subscribe, and let's grow this community.
That was fun.